Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My today's topic is the test for independence. If you remember, last time we studied in chapter 11, that was goodness of fit test. And uh, let me tell you that in that case, you had been just observing whether if different categories are given to us, so whether uh, every category is being equally liked by the customers or not. In that case, I told you the degree of freedom formula was category -1. And if these customers are showing any sort of preference, so that sentence you would be writing in H1. And if there is no preference, you had been writing in H1, sorry, H0. So keep in mind that in this chapter, we are not going to use any symbols to write in H0 or H1. I told you that you'll be using the sentences. And as per question, you have to decide whether the claim is to be written in H0 or in H1. The CV you will be finding from the chi-square distribution, the value of alpha against the degree of freedom. And I told you one thing more, that in all problems you'll be facing in the goodness of fit test, and the next topic which I'm going to cover right now, that is the test of independence. Every problem will be a right tail problem. You won't be having any left tail. So it is good that one thing will be very easy for you, and it is always helpful to you whenever a right tail comes in the chi-square distribution, because then you directly see the value of alpha against the degree of freedom from the table. You are not to divide alpha by 2. You are not to subtract the value of alpha from 1. Okay, that which we had been doing in the exercise 8.5, where we had been using the chi-square distribution for right tail as well, for the left tail as well, for the two tail tests. But in this chapter, every test is a right tail test. So one thing is, I mean, you'll be very carefree about this case. The degree of freedom, I told you, as many categories are there in the question. So categories -1. Now you observe that in the past we had been finding the degree of freedom formula as n-1, then n-2. Now the category -1, and today again a new formula you will see for degree of freedom. My topic is that test for independence. Now in front of the screens, I'm reading. The chi-square distribution can be used to test the independence of the two variables. For example, I'm giving an example. Now listen. Are senator opinion on the gun control independent of party affiliation? Now a question is कि gun control का problem है. The senators in the US, they are sitting together, लेकिन senators जो है वो दोनों पार्टी से हैं, रिपब्लिकन से भी हैं और डेमोक्रेट से भी हैं. तो are they feeling in the same style कि gun control पे control होना चाहिए. तो वो जो feelings हैं independent है या dependent? So do the Republicans feel one way and the Democrats feel differently, or do they have the same opinion? तो एक ही thinking है या different है, depending upon the party affiliation. तो ये concept है कि इसको कहते हैं test of independence. We want to see that the problem is independent. I give you another example. For example, the husband and wife, spouse and husband, they are going in the park, and if the wife asks that her husband that he should bring some snacks to eat, then he's going to the shop and purchasing something, and question may arise whether the liking for the snacks will be dependent or independent. So this type of question will also be there in your exercise. To, to test these type of problems, we use this test of independence. Now, the style of writing will be for the null hypothesis and for the alternative hypothesis. You have to always write independent in H naught and case of dependent in H1. Let me just make this concept more clear to you by giving example. Say if a student is going to a younger age, school going year, and he's not doing any job, he's dependent on his father because he is fulfilling all his requirements. So dependent means he is related. Okay, either we call it dependent or related. These type of questions will the concepts will be written in H note. But the moment the boy then grows up and then he starts doing some job, may be married, may be getting another home to live, and now he's independent. Okay, तो थोड़ा सा कंसेप्ट ये है तो बुरा लफ्ज लेकिन कहेंगे अब नाउ देयर ऑलमोस्ट नो नॉट रिलेटेड या दो पड़ोसी हैं उनको आप देख लीजिए the two people are not related, they are living independently and they are earning independently. So independent case you will be always writing in H naught either independent or not related. If this type of sentences we find in the problem, so you'll be writing in H naught. And in H1, of course, is always a contradictory statement you write in H1. So if it is independent, you will be writing dependent in H1. Similarly, if it is written not related, then you will be writing the variables are related in H1. So I told you that only in case of chapter 11, you will be writing sentences in the hypothesis. Okay, you will not be writing any sort of symbols, but don't use this concept in the previous chapters. Then don't start writing sentences in those chapters also. No, there you have to just indicate your null and alternative hypothesis using your symbols, either mu or population proportion p or sigma, right, like that. But or rho was a coefficient of correlation. But here you will be writing the sentences. Now keep understanding. Now in this case, the contingency table is designated as an R cross C, R for row and by columns table. So it's a sort of matrix you will be having. Tabular form hogi, and there will be some certain cells, and in each cell you will be having some values. So there are rows and the columns. So this is called the contingency table. If you remember, I had been teaching these contingency tables in probability also. जैसे endangered species थे, USA के हैं, foreign के हैं, rows and columns were there, और हर का row total column total करके then you had been finding the grand total. ठीक है, जहाँ हम dependent cases भी करते थे, जहाँ पे conditional probability आपने लगाई थी. So in the same style, the same type of contingency table we are going to use over here. Rather it will be given to you in the problem. So how do we further develop those contingency tables? Look here. The degree of freedom is again, you are going to have a new formula for finding the degree of freedom in case of test of independence. The formula is that as many rows are there, subtract 1 from that, and as many columns are there, subtract 1 from that, and then multiply these two factors. So rows minus 1 times columns minus 1. Times means multiply. So R minus 1, in short, in every problem you'll be writing df as R minus 1 times C minus 1. R is the row minus 1, total rows minus 1, C for total columns, column minus 1. Just multiply. Whatever the value you are getting, that is the degree of freedom. You will see against the alpha value, and understood this is the right tail test, and you'll be getting the value for CV. Here in these cases, CV will never be negative, telling you again and again, because it's a chi-square distribution and you will never get any negative value. Next is the expected value. Again, formula is different to find the expected value. In the last exercise 11.1, where you studied goodness of fit test, you had been finding the expected values in a variety of styles. If it was equally distributed, then you just took the average of all the categories. That was the expected value. And if the percentages were given, you had been multiplying each percentage of category, each category's percentage with the sample size. If there was a sample size 120, you had been multiplying and getting the expected value of each category. So it was having a different style. And we did questions on these topics. Here, the formula is that for each cell multiply the corresponding row sum by the column sum and divide by the grand total. So you see, rows and columns are given, just horizontally you add up, then vertically you add up. You'll be getting row sums and the column sums. And of course, the rightmost bottom column will be your grand total. And that will be either you count it horizontally or vertically, the answer will be the same. The expected value formula is row sum into column sum and divided by the grand total. And good luck with you is that the same formula which you had been using in your goodness of fit test, that will be again used in the test of independence. The formula for the test of independence is the same as the one used for the goodness of fit test. Chi square sigma O minus E whole square divided by E. Remember, E is in the denominator. Telling you again and again, still the students commit a mistake that I have seen students writing O in the denominator. No, make sure there are only two numbers, O and E. Where should they be placed properly? Should be very careful about that. So the test is always a right tailor test. I have been telling you. The words in H0 and H1, देखिए ये अल्फाज होंगे आपके H0 या H1, either not related, you'll be writing this sentence in H0, or the words will be there in the problem as independent of that. जैसे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले एग्जांपल दी थी, is the feeling uh, independent of the party affiliation about the gun control. तो ये आपने चेक करना होगा कि ये इंडिपेंडेंट है या डिपेंडेंट. तो जो इंडिपेंडेंट होती है, that is on the other sense, this is that the things are not related, and if it is dependent upon, so surely it is related. This chapter, now we switch over to exercise. Chapter is 11 point, exercise 11.2. Yeah. 11.1. Okay. In front of you is chapter, same chapter 11, but exercise is 2. And I'm taking first place the endangered or threatened species. This is your question number 9. I'm reading, try to understand what is given to you and what the author is asking you to find. Can you conclude a relationship between the class of the vertebrate and whether it is endangered or threatened? Use 0.05 level of significance. Is there a different result for the 0.0 level of significance? So he is giving you two types of level of significances. So he's asking you at different levels, do you think the results is also different or result is the same? Fine, good enough, no problem. The data which is given to you is this one. Either these are mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish, and the endangered species, and then the threatened species. and the data are written in the rows and columns. I told you this will be in the shape of a matrix. Uh, the okay, we are not to collect the data. Data is already sufficiently written in front. So wherever they will be required, we will be writing the same. So we had been doing in the past that we had been collecting the data, but here you need not to write in the first stage about the data. Okay, you go with the step. Step number one is the hypothesis and the claim. The null hypothesis is that the number of the endangered species is independent of the number of the threatened species. This is what we are going to verify. So in H1 will be the statement which will be contradictory to it. The number of the endangered species is dependent upon the number of the threatened species. This is the claim. अब ये चेक करना है कि क्या endangered species जो है वो depend करती हैं threatened species के ऊपर या the two categories are independent. The claim is there in H1. And now we find the critical value, damn simple. We have been given two alphas, okay, we find the two critical values. Then we'll see where our test value falls. So at alpha equal to 0.05, it is always a right tail test with degree of freedom. I told you this new formula, r minus 1 times the columns minus 1. So there are two rows, 2 minus 1 and C 5 columns. देखिए आपके सामने है mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians and fish. You have these 5 columns, so 5 minus 1. So multiply these two, 2 minus 1 into 5 minus 1, answer is 4. Okay, because 2 minus 1 is 1 and 1 multiplied with this 4 will be 4. To see this degree of freedom from chi-square distribution, I am opening that. और अब देखिएगा when alpha is 0.05 फिर क्या आंसर आ रहा है and when alpha is 0.01 then degree of freedom is same in each case. Let's see from the chi-square distribution. So degree of freedom is 4. Fine. The first 0.05 is this one. So my first CV at alpha equal to 0.05 is 9.488, right? And at 0.01 it should be 13.27. देख लीजिए. Let's see. Yes. When alpha is 0.05, the answer is 9.488. And when alpha is 0.01, degree of freedom is same. The answer is coming for CV 13.27. Critical value is over. The next is the test value. Now these type of questions, especially in the test value step, you have to go for a longer calculations. So time लगेगा आपको, but don't be scared because every calculation is to be done in the same style. थोड़ा सा फर्क है. Numerical value are different, but the way you are going to calculate expected values, the style will be the same. Well, the first we compute all the expected values for each cell, for every value in the data. The general formula is Eij. I is for the row, J is the column. So row sum, column sum divided by the grand total. I have already told you. So we are going to rewrite the given table in a computed form. All what we are going to compute will be inserting. I told you कि बहुत अच्छा होगा कि आप expected value और उसकी जो observed value है वो साथ साथ लिखिए. The given data is for the observed values, and in the bracket which I have written, these are the expected values which you will calculate here. अभी हमने किया नहीं है, ये तो मैंने बाद में fill किए. First you see how do we find every expected value. I have told you the formula. E11 means the element in the first row at the first column. What is the element in the first row? 68. ठीक है. इसका row sum लेंगे. What is the row sum? 247. And first row, first column, the first column का sum क्या है? 81. Okay. The row sum is 247 and the column sum is 81. Just multiply them. and divide by the grand total. Your grand total is 369.